to putting together things like this banner and giving us amplification and the means to be here and have something to say. So why are we here today? Well, I got to ask you people, how's the economy treating you? Right, so, once upon a time, this used to be the fabled land of promise. And the economy here used to grow and to have prosperity. But now here we have, it's broke, we're breaking financially. So we've seen the joblessness that is being reported to us as a drop in the price of oil. And yes, that is definitely affecting us financially. And I won't say that doesn't have a massive impact on our industries. But the decisions that the government is making at this moment in time to implement a carbon tax on top of our unemployment, I think if she was aiming for 100,000 people unemployed, well, now we can go for maybe 2. Because if we don't start taking some direction, some change of the direction, we're not going to be able to recover as quick as we had in the past. This is the greatest economic recession we've had in 30 years, since the 80s, since Mr. Trudeau Sr. was in power. You ask anyone on the street, which is what me and this guy have been doing, and everyone will pretty much tell you, they're pretty much like myself, waking up every morning, reading the news, thinking we're in another episode of the Twilight Zone. They're quickly passing the legislation to be able to put a cap on oil sands emissions, and they're using this climate change scheme to be able to force their carbon tax through. It's an undeniable truth that they're trying to ram down our throats, but what we're really disapproving of is the way in which they're doing it. There's no public discussion. There was no mandate during the last election, and they're just ramming it down our throats. We understand what citizens can do, and you know what? This is not a political movement. This is a citizens movement. It started up in some kitchen in Camrose. A lady by the name of Tina Fox and some friends got together. So Tina and some friends got together in northern Alberta, and they decided they wanted to have an Alberta-wide rally. So a bunch of us in Calgary, Edmonton, Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, Airdrie, Brooks, Lethbridge, and Medicine Hat, we've all decided to stand up today all across Alberta. So this is actually an Alberta-wide rally. It is a citizens rally. This is not a political rally, but we do have some political support in that people are opposed to this legislation that's being put through. And it's not just the carbon tax, there's others. We can work on the carbon tax to support our petition against the carbon tax. And that's what we're here for today, is to ask you all to sign our petition that we've actually had pre-screened by the legislative secretary, by lawyers. We've actually gone through the process of making sure that it doesn't get X'd out at the door when it comes in and says, oh, you guys missed this or you missed that. We've gone through great lengths to make sure that it doesn't fail the first check. To get started today, I appreciate that we have elected members present, a member of the Legislative Assembly who has also been 30 years in the oil and gas industry before he became an MLA. It's Prasad Panda, the most recently elected member of the Wild Rose. We appreciate that he's come out today to support the people of Alberta who oppose these unrealistic legislation, and who is here today also supporting the Veterans Food Bank of Calgary. Yes. And you know what? When none of us are working, you know what we're not doing? We're not sharing our wealth and our generosity, and we're not supporting the food bank, and we're not supporting the service industries, and we're not supporting all the people that we're used to supporting. So I'm here today to help support everyone, the small people, the little people, the big people, and everyone in between, because if we don't stand up for this together, we're all going to be going down this boat for the next decade, and we can't afford to do that. So.
Thank you, Dwayne, for that kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing today? We need that energy because this government is not listening. So to make them hear us, we need to be loud and clear. And thank you very much for taking time to come out today. Before I start my formal remarks, I just want to introduce myself. I used to be one one of you guys here working in downtown right here. I worked for Corr Energy for 11 years and I worked 28 years in oil and gas myself. So I'm not a career politician. So I'm an engineer and I'm a member of APECA. And the reason I joined Wild Rose a few years ago was when I felt our Alberta's prosperity and our prospectus were under attack. So I talked to a few people in Wild Rose back then. I had a friend, David Yeager. He was the past president of Wild Rose, and him and a few of us got together in 2011 and we started a website called Protect the Patch. So many of us ran on that platform back then in 2012. So today it is even under severe attack by foreign funded environmental activists, and they are not realizing the consequences of their action. And the same thing with the Alberta government. So ever since I got elected in the last 1 year, Wild Rose has been standing for Albertans and trying to make NDP's policies, bad policies better by introducing amendments, and we're trying to stop their risky ideological policies every day. So today, as a result of their policies, we are seeing 10.2% unemployment rate in Canada, the largest in any metropolitan cities of Canada. So it's 100,000 people out of job, and NDP is not stopping there yet. They're still going full steam ahead with their policies. And recently I read an article in Calgary Herald, and Don Braid said Premier Notley is saying that they want to implement their policies very quickly, and they want to ensure that no other future government can reverse their policies. I'm very disturbed with that. So as official opposition, we do everything to stop them in their tracks, but because they have the majority, they don't have to listen to us. But if everyone like you come out and speak up and lend your voice, that will send them a very clear and loud message. So that's why I do appreciate all of you taking time to come out and express your views. And I would like to thank all the volunteers and organizers for putting this rally together. This rally is for Alberta and for Albertans. And it is great to be with you all today and to rally for Alberta. And there is no question our province is facing challenging times. We have seen over 100,000 jobs vanish, as I said before, and for me, those are not stats, because when I worked at Suncor, I worked with many engineers in oil companies, with EPC companies like SNC Lavalin or Bantrell or Jacobs or Worley Parsons, Flo Daniel, and today I have thousands of my friends looking for work. For me, those are not families. I could feel their pain, and there is so much impact on their families, and I could feel for them. And everyone has felt the impact. And our province has felt the pain from economic downturns in the past, but something is different this time, because we have all levels of government here in Canada, they're doing their best to make the bad situation worse. That is the problem now. And the provincial government has raised every tax and the fee you can imagine: business taxes, personal taxes, train taxes, gas taxes, beer taxes, and fuel taxes. Just about every user fee in the province has seen an increase, including Sikumi Lake. They introduced user fee recently. When the economy is not doing well, you have families, they want to take their kids out to the park and enjoy in the summer, but now this government want to collect user fee from Sikumi Lake users as well. So when the government And when they actually fully implemented that carbon tax, it will cost a typical household at least $1,000 per year at the rate of $30 per ton. And on the top of that, federal government wants to make it $50 per ton. That means it could be a couple of $1,000 for on every hardworking family here in Alberta. So that money should be left in the pockets of the families where they could use that for groceries or for paying their mortgage and so on.
Yes, sir.
But this government thinks they know how best to use our taxpayers' money, how best they waste. We all seen that.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that? How the Nolly government's using their tax money?
They actually want to spend that money on corporate welfare schemes.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's not how we want to see them spend the tax dollars. And the tax literally takes money from hardworking Alberta families and then towards it and then rewards it to select business lucky enough to qualify for handouts. You saw those?
It's coercion.
Yeah. And in Ottawa, we have a government that's working hard to enforce more expensive carbon pricing. They call it carbon levy or pricing. It's all a tax, right? On provinces, they are fighting for new pipelines for approvals. In fact, they have thrown even more red tape in the way of our energy sector, creating further uncertainty at a time we can least afford it. But while Rose believes better times are ahead, we know with the right vision, we can see our province come roaring back.